Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Pemko number S771C adhesive Astragal or meeting style seal, available in clear, as you can see. That's a clear finish, a dark bronze, and a white as well. Installed on pairs of doors for the meeting style, intended to help retard the transmission of sound, heat loss, smoke, and as a general weatherization product. Dimensionally, this item is 7/16 of an inch. Go over that now. Wide. Yep. Then you've got 9/32 of an inch overall height, so that's going to put it at a 1/4 inch, basically, just heavy on a 1/4. Yeah, that is indeed the case. Hard to measure that small little fin with a tape measure. It is very compressible. Okay. The S in the part stands for silicone. The 771 means it's a single fin sort of design. The S772 is the same design, except that it's slightly wider, not as tall, and has 2 fins. Okay. Stays flexible between 58 below and 450 degree Fahrenheit. Very low closing force is what's required because it's so compressible. When you're applying this, the frame needs to be utterly clean, completely clean and free of any dust or debris. Okay. If the paint has been recently If the frame has been recently painted, you want to be sure that the paint is completely cured, at least a week between painting it and applying this material. If there's any dust or any debris on the frame, or if the paint's not fully cured, it will be a point of compromise for the adhesive to do its job. So you'll definitely want that to be set up correctly. Now, what you're also going to know is that some people will even use this. It's intended as meeting style material, but I've sold this to people who have used it for just typical, perimeter gasketing as well. Hence the reference to a frame. When you're installing this, Pemko will have you, in their recommended installation, work with an 18 to 24 inch length piece is generally what I see in the installation instructions. But in my experience, I like working with a much shorter piece, maybe 12 inch. And the reasoning is this material is very flexible, okay? And you can end up with an unintentional wavy result. Or if you're working with a long exposed piece, you might unintentionally bump it onto the surface prematurely, causing you to pull that off. That's not something that you want to do either. So I found that working with a much shorter length allowed me better control over it. Neatness and appearance really is the bottom line. Your door edge or your frame edge is very straight. It's full of straight lines, and you'll see any waviness to this at all when you're installing it. Now, most importantly, when you are installing this, if you have any inside corners as you would on a frame, you're going to want to be sure to cut this and miter it. Don't try to run it in a continuous run around your frame. It will need to be cut and mitered appropriately. The intended purpose of this is to just provide that seal. Okay, I've used it with great success for helping mediate the transmission of dust between a shop and a showroom. Front and back doors of a building, those doors are open. The dust seems to just get carried through with the wind, with the air from the shop to the showroom. That's not ideal. And I can tell, as evidenced on the frame when I installed this, where the dust was being backed up proving that it was effective is the bottom line. Okay. Important note is that regarding the adhesive, Pemko wants you to use it within the first 6 months, and it's to be stored in 50 to 100 degree temperatures. Otherwise, you'll have a problem with the adhesive and it won't be able to do its job. A lot of people like this material because it is really easy to put on. No tools required except a scissor or a utility blade is how you would go about doing it. So real easy stuff to install. Available in specific lengths, 7 foot, 8 foot, 9 foot, and 10 foot. And as a result of that, this is really intended to be used, between doors. If you're going to do something else with it outside of what it's intended for, you'll need to order multiple. If you were going to do a pair of doors, let's say, you'd have to order 3 7-foot pieces if it's a typical size door. But this is a meeting style Astragal typically, and a very good quality item. Pemko is a full line manufacturer of all things weather stripping related, not only adhesive backed gasketing like this, of which they have several different profiles, but a full line of thresholds, door sweeps, perimeter gasketing, material made of aluminum, stainless steel, architectural bronze, and a full line of residential hardware weather stripping as well, like adjustable oak top thresholds. Any questions on the Pemko S771C or any other Pemko product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you very much.